G'day guys, welcome to this RXY's Future video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Hyundai Aleague for week 24's predictions for 2020 guys, so let's get started. So the first match of this game, we see the Central Coast Mariners going up against the Melbourne City. Now, what I can say about this game, I don't really think that Central Coast Mariners are a great team due to the loss all the time. I reckon Melbourne City are a great team because I think they're coming like second or third on the ladder. But at the moment though, I really think that Melbourne City are going to get on top, and then really recommend that if Melbourne City are going to get a couple of goals, I really do hope they probably would. But as you can see though, I reckon that Melbourne City are a great team, and I don't think that Central Coast Mariners are a very huge team that can be a very good match by. But I don't think that Central Coast Mariners will win up against Melbourne City, because Melbourne City are the second on the ladder, and really for this game though, second place going up against the last. I don't think that this game will be an absolute great game for the Central Coast Mariners, unless if they win, but I don't really think that they are going to win. So about this game, I'm going to go with the Melbourne City on this one, and I just think that Melbourne City will snatch a lead here, and I reckon they will by 2-0. So what I can say is, I'm going to predict by 2-0 the scoreline, and I'm going to say that this game will be a cracker of a match, and I really could think that if this game could be an absolute great game, I'm definitely going to pick the Melbourne City. I reckon that Jamie McLaren's going to get 2 goals to make it 2-0, and really I do hope that this game is going to be an absolute great game. So really, I definitely can say of this match, I reckon that this game will be an absolute good cracker of a match, but it's playing tonight anyway, and for 3 hours or more. I'm definitely going to pick the Melbourne City on this one, so I'm definitely going to pick the Melbourne City 2-0 on this one anyway. The next game of this round, we see the Brisbane Roar going up against the Newcastle Jets. Now, what I can say about this club, Brisbane Roar are a very good team. They're an average team that can attack very well. And what I can say about this club, I like how the way that Brisbane Roar can smash out different types of clubs, but really for this team though, what I can say about this team is they often win a couple of games, but it's just for this club that I like how the way they win and then win and lose, because then they can come back and also win games of football, which I really like. But for the Newcastle Jets though, they've been really terrible like in the off season, and they've just been proving that they can basically win matches all the time. But going up against Brisbane Roar, I'm not too sure about this club. Newcastle Jets are a very good team, and they've obviously got very good players into that squad. So really what I can say about this team, I just think that Brisbane Roar are going to win up against the Newcastle Jets. Only because that couple of players in there which I really like to see is definitely how the way that you want to see attack. But this club is going to be a huge club to actually attack. But really for this club though, I like how the way that this team can grow very much into an absolute great opportunity for great clubs and great players anyway. But for Brisbane Roar though, I'm going to go for Brisbane Roar on this one. I just don't think that Newcastle Jets will improve up against Brisbane Roar, because Brisbane Roar are a very hard attacking team, and I just think that Newcastle Jets will definitely improve, but definitely won't see improvement into scoring much of goals up against Brisbane Roar anyway. But I'm going to go with Brisbane Roar on this one. I'm going to say that this game is going to be a 3-0 scoreline. I'm going to predict this one. Brisbane Roar are going to be a very good team to play in tonight's game, and I really do hope that they can improve tonight's game up against Newcastle Jets anyway. The next game of this round, we see the Western Sydney Wanderers going up against the Sydney FC. Now, this game is going to be a hard attacking game of football. It's going to be the Sydney derby. Western Sydney going up against the actual city of Sydney. And really for this club, I don't think that this game will be an absolute very easy match. because usually Sydney FC have been proven very well, but I know for a fact they've lost a couple of games. But going up against Western Sydney, though, I don't think that this club can be an improving team. Western Sydney can be a very improving team, but I'm not too sure going up against Sydney FC. But really for this club, though, I like how the way that Sydney FC have improved very well. They've got a lot of players and entertaining players and very much experienced players that I've seen to improve. And really what I can say about this club, though, Sydney FC have improved so much into different types of rounds. Really, for this game, though, excuse me, is how the way you want to attack your football, right? But it's basically how the way you want to improve, how the way you want to be a team to play up against different type of clubs. But really for this game, though, Western Sydney have been improved very well. Mitchell Duke is a very good player into that club, and he's improved to score so much of goals. So I'm going to go with the Sydney FC on this one. I'm going to say for this one, I'm going to go with 1-0. It's just going to be a very hard match to decide, and Western Sydney Wanderers aren't going to be a very good club to play up against Sydney FC for this one. So I'm going to go with the Sydney FC. I just think that Sydney FC will improve for that game, and I reckon that they'll fire up against the Western Sydney Wanderers, and I just don't think Western Sydney Wanderers can make a game of winning up against the Sydney FC anyway. So I'm going to go with 1-0 up against the Western Sydney Wanderers anyway. The next game of this round, we see the Newcastle Jets going up against Melbourne City. Really for this game, though, what I can say about this match, it's going to be a very hard to decide. And what I can say is going to be a very good game of football. But Melbourne City have been proving very well. I can definitely see some improvement there. And really, about this match, though, I can definitely see some improvement going into that attack. But Melbourne City, though, have been a very good team to actually improve, but not hard enough to improve up against Sydney FC. But really what I can say about this match, though, I like how the way that Newcastle Jets have been a very good team, because last couple of weeks they've been sloppy, they've been terrible, and they haven't really improved for an actual team. So really, Newcastle Jets are a very good team, and I just don't think that going up against Melbourne City will definitely improve to be a very good game of football. But for this one, though, I'm going to go with the Newcastle Jets. I just think Newcastle Jets will definitely improve, and I really do hope it's going to be an upset. And I'm definitely going to improve this one, so I'm going to go with 2-1 on this one. And I just think that I reckon Tupou Stanley is going to score 2 goals, and I reckon James McLaren is going to score 1 goal to make it 1. James McLaren is obviously a very good player. He's scored a number of goals, and he's just improved so much into that game anyway, different types of games. But for this one, though, I'm going to go with Newcastle Jets. They've been improved so much. They've done a lot of hard work, and going up against this club, a very hard club, I reckon Newcastle Jets need to improve so they can beat a very hard club, the Melbourne City anyway. So I'm going to go with 2-1, and I'm going to go with them up against the Melbourne City anyway. And finally, the next game of this round, we see the Perth Glory going up against the Western United. Now, this game's going to be a very proving matchup, and I do think that this game's going to be a very good game of football. I do see improvement from the Perth Glory side, because they've been extending their team, and this team is actually a very good match, very good team. And really, what I can say about this game, though, I like how the way that this match is going to be definitely improvement. But I definitely see some improvement in there. And Perth Glory are a very good team, and they've gotten so much good players that I do like. Which I can say that Bruno Fornaroli is a very good player that I can definitely see a very experienced player into that squad. For the Western United, though, Bessa Barisho is a very excellent, experienced player. He scored a number of goals, and he's just a very talented, experienced player that I've ever seen. Obviously, you got different types of players. You got Connor Payne, which he was a former Central Coast Mariner, but he definitely contracted to play for the Western United anyway. But really for this game, though, I just think that this game's going to be an easy match. I do see some improvement from the Perth Glory side, though. But I don't think that this game's going to be a very good match. So, for this game, though, I'm going to go with Perth Glory, and I'm going to say that this game's going to be absolutely a great game. So, I'm going to go with 3-0 on this one, and I just think Western United will definitely struggle, and I don't see some improvement in there because really, sometimes they can play shocking, but then sometimes they can play good. So, I reckon, though, that I'm going to go with Perth Glory, and I'm going to go with 3-0 on this one. So then that means that they can obviously win up against the Western United anyway. Thanks, guys, for watching my video, guys. Stay tuned for more. We'll be doing a couple of videos coming to you guys soon. Also, I'll be doing more videos coming to you guys soon, so stay tuned for more. Plus, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and for this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, take care, guys. Stay safe and have a good one.